Speaking of terrible and awkward, are you guys ready for the next comedian tonight? All right. Coming up to the stage right now, we have the only professor at Bradford that knows how to spell Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Scott!
Virginia. Alright, so it is that time of the summer once again. It is vacation Bible school season. And I don't know about you guys, but Bible and school are the last two words I like to associate with vacation. It's not a fun time. For me, it's more like vacation porno arcade. That's a good time. It's such a misleading phrase, you know? They put the fun part at the beginning. So you're like, hey kids, it's vacation. Yay! Bible school. Oh. Yeah. The part that never made sense to me, though, was the crafts that they would have you do. I never understood the blending of crafts with religion. You know, it was kind of like, boys and girls, did you know that Jesus died on the cross for your sins? And that's one of the most excruciating deaths a person can experience. So let's commemorate that by making some crosses out of popsicle sticks and glitter. I was just like, why glitter? Jesus didn't sparkle. He wasn't a Twilight vampire. Why? I don't understand it. No, but it's also summer blockbuster season. And of course, the biggest movie this summer has to be Man of Steel, right? New Superman movie? You guys seen it? Yeah? Well, of course, what I really like is all the really cool merchandise comes out along with the movie. But some of it's kind of weird. The other day, I was hanging out in the toy department because it's where I meet women. It's not what you're thinking. I'm just really into MILFs. Okay? But no. I was looking at the toys, and there was one that was Superman on a motorcycle. And I'm just like, why the fuck is Superman on a motorcycle? I mean, I guess he's more powerful than a locomotive, faster than a speeding bullet, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, but sometimes he needs to feel the wind in his hair and the freedom of the open road, you know? Giving Superman a motorcycle is like giving Aquaman scuba gear. It's just unnecessary. But speaking of Aquaman, fuck Aquaman. He is the worst superhero of all time. What's his superpower? He can swim. I've had that power since I was like 8. You know? He can also telepathically communicate with fish, but you know what? Not once have I ever looked at a fish and been like, I wish I knew what he was thinking. They just don't have much to say, I think. Of course, last year, the big superhero movie was Dark Knight Rises, the last of the Batman movies. Did you guys see that? I thought it was pretty awesome. However, I did have trouble understanding what Bane was saying for most of the movie. You know, with the mask, you know, Batman! The people of Gotham have tried to trust you, but I believe that I'm you are mom. Is it just me, or does he sound kind of like Sean Connery get drunk and they let him work the drive-thru at McDonald's? Would you like fries with that, Mr. Wayne? Please drive around to the second window. No, but it hasn't all been fun and games this summer. We've had a couple of big scandals. We had the IRS scandal, and then the NSA scandal, where of course we discovered that the government has been reading our text messages and listening to our phone conversations. And of course, the implication is that they've also been able to view all the pictures we've been taking with our cell phones, which has some troubling consequences if you think about it. I just hate to be the NSA agent whose job it was to like debrief the president on people's cell phone pictures. Like, well, Mr. President, we have no evidence of any domestic terrorism, thankfully. However, there are signs of increased gang activity. It appears that many people are now showing loyalty to the West Side. And there also appears to be a correlation between West Side membership and a bizarre condition we can only describe as duckface. However, Mr. President, West Side duckface is not the most troubling thing that we have found in these photographs. A lot of guys are taking pictures of their junk, sir. It's just a ridiculous number of cock pics. I mean, occasionally there's a boob in there, but really not enough to make it worthwhile. You know, and I took like 3 pictures of my dick and sent them out right before this meeting. It's uncontrollable, sir. We should look into that. Anyway, we try to avoid getting too political with our sets. But there is something that I need to talk about that's kind of local. In the state of Virginia, we have a gubernatorial election coming up in November. And one of the presumptive candidates for governor is our current Attorney General, Ken Cuccinelli. Now, regardless of where you fall in the political spectrum, whether you're Republican or Democrat, there are a couple of things that you need to know about Ken Cuccinelli. First of all, a couple of years back, he tried to change the Virginia state seal, which is on our flag, because it has a boob on it, right? Familiar with the flag, we have the Roman goddess of virtue, and one of her breasts is exposed, right? I don't know about you, but I can't trust a guy who's that offended by titties, you know? You'd think a guy whose nickname is Cooch would be a little less uptight about titties, right? Now, the second thing that I think you need to know about Ken Cuccinelli is that as Attorney General, he has tried to go back to enforcing Virginia's sodomy laws, which used to be used as a way to disenfranchise homosexuals. He wants to enforce them on everyone, even straight people. Now, for those of you who don't know the full extent of the consequences of that, the legal definition of sodomy is any sexual contact that is not penis to vagina. In other words, this man wants to outlaw blowjobs. Yeah. He doesn't like titties, he doesn't like blowjobs. That's just goddamn un-American if you ask me. I really hope come November his opponents pick up on this and use it in their attack ads, because I really want to see those commercials. Ken Cuccinelli doesn't like titties. Ken Cuccinelli wants to make blowjobs illegal. So this Tuesday, say yes to titties. Say yes to blowjobs. Say no to Ken Cuccinelli. Anyway, that's my time. Thank you guys. Good night.
Wow, I didn't know you were so tall. That is impressive.
Yes, it is.